AK had gone rogue and Jeremy had been taken away. "What's happening?" Lily asked Alejandro. "I'm sorry. Everything you loved is gone." "What are you talking about?" "I have bad news, Lily," Alejandro said. "There are many things after you." "How many things?" "Many spirits, good and bad. Many enemies." "Why?" "Because they don't even really understand why they follow you to hurt you. The other races can see all of the people chasing you because you are different. You just don't fit with everyone else. They chase after you and your differences. You do not belong with them." "Where do I belong?" "Nowhere. You are an Egyptian queen, full blood. You are the only one left of the gods that came down in the time of ancient Egypt. You are an orphan of a superior race. In some way, you are the queen of all ETs." "How can that be?" "There's only you left of that race, and they still all want you, even more now." "Why can't you just let me see him?" "That was not the agreement. You are a very rare type, not the human type." "So I'm right back to where I started?" "Yes." "A never-ending maze of traps?" "Yes." "So where am I to go?" "Hide a while. Be really emotionless." Alejandro swung her into the elevator violently and punched in a code. He pulled a black rectangle out and it transformed into a gun. "I will protect you," the Antonon said in English. The robot that had had his arm cut off by Fan came around the corner and began to shoot at them. Alejandro swung her into the elevator violently and punched in a code. He pulled out a black rectangle and it transformed into a gun. "I will protect you," Alejandro said in English. He fought the incoming lasers and was excellent at blocking the shots. Almost half of them bounced back down by ricochet shots. Alejandro threw some smoke shields, and him and Lily ran into the hologram room. She took the key and hid them inside of the woods. He came into the room and Lily grabbed his arm. "Come on, Alejandro." They began to run off somewhere to hide. "We need to find a high place or climb a tall tree." On the outside of the hologram room, the robot with the cyborg arm is not flesh covered, it's very metallic, was picking the locks, and every Antonon that came to question him was shot one after the other, leaving a pile of bodies in the hall. So that shows you it's not Antonon. It's not controlled by an Antonon. Alejandro and Lily climbed slowly up a large tree. He had these 3 wands that would latch on. He should probably have more than 3. I mean, let's give him like 4 or 5 wands, okay? That would latch onto the tree as a step. But since he only had 3 of them, it took them a long time to rotate between the 2 of them and climb the tree. Alejandro was reaching up to reposition the next one for Lily, but he slipped and barely caught himself. He caught Lily, but the wand fell. "Fatat!" Alejandro screamed as he watched the wand fall down. He yelled and held still. Lily laughed. "It's not funny," he screamed. "I know, but you're angry. You're sexy when you're mad, and you're never mad." He stopped and smiled and swiftly kissed Lily's lips. She smiled, and they continued climbing. They found a nice split towards the treetops, and Alejandro took out some netting, and they carefully made a web to hold them. They lay on it together. "Now what do we do?" "We wait, we prepare." "I'm so hungry." "I have a few wafers on me." He went to pull them out, but the tree grew before them and rapidly blossomed apples. They smiled. He put the wafers away. They ate and rested. "Why won't you all just let me see Fan?" "I tried talking to the Antonon. They just want to complete their experiments for their studies, but if we join you, it messes up all their plans. Maybe stories can change." "They are afraid of him. He's unpredictable, like you are, and he wants to see you just as badly, Lily. They put him through the dream trials. I don't think that's such a good idea, but they won't listen to me. They really cherish their emotional studies and any chance to feel emotions." "They really cherish their emotional studies and any chance to feel emotions." "You mean torture?" "Yes, torture." "What about you?" I have my own now. You gave them to me. You made me feel my own things. I think it's dangerous to do that to him." "How so?" "Lily, he saw World War III. He was in it all of the way, and you can't comprehend such a thing. They will give him nightmares where he never gets you, and even worse ones than that." "So?" "He's dangerous, and you don't want to torture an already dangerous man. You happen to be what he wants the most, and they know that without testing him." "Then why won't you ask them to help us?" "I can't. They don't know we're here." They fell asleep, but Lily jolted when a beeping sound went off in his pocket. "One just got inside. I have a tracker on you just in case they get you. I can follow." "Will they find us in all of this?" "Yes, infrared. I just wish there were animals in here that gave off body heat. That would distract them. Looking up would be the last thing they would do if they had something else to chase." It took a while for the robot with his newly synthetic arm to find them. He started a laser beam to cut the trees, but the tree was way too large and too thick. His claw changed and reshaped, and a hook came out of it and pulled him up the tree. He zipped up but stopped and had to shoot the hook again. He pulled up and began shooting at them. Lily screamed. Alejandro gave her half a body shield and activated it. "It only covers the front of you. If you turn around on the laser beams, you will get shot. I don't know if you can do it, but you must. Just keep looking at all the shots that are coming at you. Stare them down, every one of them." "Okay." The robot got closer and closer, shooting at them. Alejandro shot back at them, and they climbed the tree higher. The robot locked on Lily and blasted multiple layers of lasers at her. She screamed but held the shield, and her arm shook with the blast. She took them and never turned around. Alejandro wrapped an arm around her and blasted the robot, who took several hits. He slipped down the rope a ways. "Jump with me," she said. "No way, Lily, will die. The impact will kill us. Even though it's fake, it's solid." "I can fly. I'll show you." "You did fly a lot in your dreams." "We are in my dreams, and we can do whatever we want." "I don't think that's a good idea." "I don't think this is such a good idea either," she screamed, as the robot shot at them, and they jumped over the trees. "You changed the dream and the nightmare." "I don't know how to kill the robot." "Yes, you do." "Water melt them or fry them?" "Yes." "Let's try," she said, and the entire scenery changed in mid-program, and Alejandro yelled. "It's okay." They landed softly, upright, feet first near a swimming pool. There seemed to be an event going on. He looked at Lily, who wore a beautiful dress. He smiled. He was wearing completely different clothes. He touched them. He was aroused by Lily's dress. Just then, a human-looking robot with a synthetic arm fell from the sky and landed in the pool, making a huge splash. The water filled with lightning bolts and electrocuted the robot. It made loud sounds, and the band stopped playing. All of the people about ran away in all directions. Lily laughed. Alejandro was in disbelief, and then he laughed too. "This is the night he proposed to me, but we never had a chance to marry because World War III started upon one of our ships, and we were separated for 26 years. How come I can't ever bring Fan into my dreams?" "I'm not sure." "Yeah, and all of you jerk-offs are keeping us apart. It's gonna make you keep loving and fighting for him. You're gonna die trying. It's gonna break my heart." "I think I know a way to do it. To see him. You never saw World War III, the war both Fan and I fought together. We saw the death. We saved the Asians. That's why they do what we say. I'm still not sure what the Antonon want of both of you." "I know a way, trust me. I can fly." Alejandro smiled, but Jeremy busted in. "End program," he said, and then nothing was inside of the gray box, except for them and the robot who lay lifeless. Jeremy went over and looked at it. He crouched down and touched it. Lily hugged him. "What happened to AK?" He's missing. No one can find him." "I thought you had a new job." "They sent me back to protect you." Jeremy looked at the robot. His first thought was on how to fix it, because he was good at that shit, so that kind of thing interested him. "That shouldn't have killed it," he said. "It did." "No, it shouldn't have. The hologram is electric, but even fake water is not H2O, it's electricity. That shouldn't have killed the robot, nor the impact either, but it was electrocuted," Jeremy insisted, and Lily laughed. "I fried his ass with my mind." "I just made you a new room, but I warn you, the others are coming for you, and you're so special you will never get to come back. You will never see Fan again, Lily. I'm so sorry." Alejandro glanced at him. "Jeremy, did you know that Lily dreams about making love to you all of the time?" "No. She does, all by herself, all of the time. But I helped her. I helped her with dream trials. And she truly wants you in many ways that she has never once wanted me." Alejandro screamed at him. "She dreams about you and never me, and I hate you for it. I hate you because she loves you and wants every piece of you, and you're too stupid to figure it out." Lily cried silently, but smiled at the same time, because what he was saying was true. All of this time, you could have been protecting her, and it was never you protecting her. Never you. I almost died several times for her, and you never say a damn word about how you feel about her. Nothing. She lusts for you, and I hate you for it, Happy. I wish she wanted me like that." Alejandro screamed at him. "I still don't understand how the robot died," Jeremy said, and Alejandro pulled his weapon and blasted Jeremy. Lily screamed and fell down to Jeremy, who just happened to be a robot underneath his flesh. Dream 1. Okay, don't tread on me. They gave Fan a dream in which he got to marry his Lily, but suddenly a spaceship came down and blasted the wedding apart. He watched in horror as an alien race beamed her aboard and took her away. They watched as they put her through many experiments, and the entire time, all she ever did was ask for him. He watched as they bred her and saw her children, none of which belonged to him. He watched them age and grow children of their own. Lily was a prisoner until death. Dream 2. He saw this other man who was very pale. He watched their wedding, what happened later, and was helpless to do anything to stop it. He watched them live in the happy city and have 2 children. Lily seemed happy, like she truly believed he was dead. Dream 3. He was given a warning by the Antonon not to break their agreement. He didn't listen. He took Lily and they fled, but they were captured and split apart again. The Antonon brought him back to his home, but when Singh answered the door, the Antonon kicked it in all of the way, and in front of him they murdered his family. We warned you not to do that. Dream 4. They replayed his memories of the crash of STARSET. Their ship was hit several times, and he had to take control and land the shuttle. Most of the crew was alive when it landed, and they camped out there for a few weeks because Fan, their leader, would not leave the ship, even though it couldn't be fixed. One day they were ambushed from the sky by helicopters and government flying saucers. They were all taken prisoner by the very team they betrayed. They were interrogated and tortured. They were starving and beaten. They were forced to watch World War III on a large screen as they poisoned, gassed, murdered, and used nuclear weapons on the people. All for a plan that had been set many, many years ago. Fan witnessed the death of each of his crew. He was the last one left, almost like they were saving him for dessert. He lay on his back on the cold pavement floor, sore and starved and on the brink of madness. He looked at the ceiling and Lily appeared to him. He reached his arm up towards his true love's face, the face he loved so much. Fan woke up in mid-process. He remained perfectly still as he looked around the room with one eye and then closed his eyelids again. He jumped up and started screaming. The Antonon came to him. One held a needle in his hand. No, I'm fine. I just want a glass of water." He stayed very still, and they brought him one, but he grabbed the man's arm and punched him in the face, and he fell down. The next one approached him but didn't swing. Neither Antonon knew how to fight because they'd never had emotions enough to make them angry enough to attack each other. So Fan kicked all of their asses. "Weapons," he said in Antonon, and they passed one over to him. "Get me a Gram 370 assault rifle." "Negative," they answered. Fan touched his watch and pressed a button, and a screaming buzzed in their heads that replicated Oxlar frequency, and the rest of them fell to their knees. "Get me the gun or I really make this hurt." They swiftly left and returned with the gun. They gave it to him, and he turned the frequency down. He smiled a beautiful smile and hugged the gun close to him like they were old friends. Him and that gun is like Lily and Little Joe. Totally. "You're going to get me a ride out of here, and I just wanted to say, game over." And he blew up the dream machine. "How did you know he was a robot?" "I tried to piss him off. He didn't respond to my anger or what I said about you at all. Jeremy's very tender, and he would have reacted. No emotional response." "Where am I?" she said when she woke up later. "You're in Phoebe. We are studying you." "Everyone's studying me. What happened to Jeremy?" "We do not know." "You can't do that to me. You can't take him away from me. You are cruel." "We did it for the better." "The better of what? You stole all my dreams away one day at a time. And you never gave me any light. You only stole it from me." "People give up easy, Lily, but you don't. You don't, and you changed the dream and the nightmare. We do not know how to do that. That's why we watch you. I want Jeremy back. We know that, but that is not part of our mission."